check. Yo, what's up, guys? What's up, everybody? Mic check, 1, 2. Will he play actual music this time? Yeah. Yeah, I'll play a little bit. How you guys doing? You'd think I would have tuned before I started the live stream, but this is how we do it. What's up? Happy Monday, quarantine edition. I'm gonna, maybe I should actually tweet about this time. Wait, I gotta let's see if this playback error has occurred. I assume you guys are getting video, right? Because it's not working on my side, but... Okay. Actually, I'm gonna... Well, I want to hear from you guys if this is actually working, because on my software it looks all right. I'm just not getting it on the actual YouTube page. All right, well, if you guys are getting video, then I think we're good. Cool. Cool. Welcome to the live stream. You know, the last time I did a live stream, I took like a year in between, so I feel like a couple days, yeah, we're doing good. Yeah, I messed that one up. All right, cool, guys. Am I going to change the name of the live stream? You know, like I'm kind of just like messing around here. I think it's kind of funny that how janky this is. Let me see if I can get a loop going. I'm actually gonna like tweet about this, and I'm doing this so because last time I didn't. I think you guys are cool. You guys showed up, but I should probably mention it. So I think today I'm probably gonna do like a bunch of I'll do a little bit of guitar. I'm actually I want to kind of pull up like Spotify and just play you guys some music I've been into, you know, stuff like that. Cool. Tweet sent. Now Instagram. I'm just gonna walk you guys through all of this. Probably should have done this before. I'm gonna get a better shot of that because it looks like garbage. Great stream. All right. Am I on Snapchat? No. You know, I never got into Snapchat. Nothing against it. It's just like, I don't know. It wasn't like, there's only so many social media platforms I can really be on and like do it right. Cool. Let me get in some questions here. Cool. Yeah, I heard about the UK, the lockdown, like 3 weeks, right? Like that's kind of intense. I feel like, yeah, I feel like it would. It's probably going to happen here in the US at some point. I mean, the cities on the West Coast, I think pretty much most of them are like completely locked down. You know, you can still go outside to like exercise and whatever, but you know, they're advising pretty strongly. What's up, Roth? So yeah, I guess like I've been doing this more. I've been doing this more on YouTube because, well, you know, I could do it on Twitch. I even have like the RAC username, which I'm stoked about, but it's I just don't have the follower base there. So I mean, maybe I should do like a certain type of like gaming thing on Twitch or something like that. But I kind of like being able to just do this quickly on YouTube, you know. Okay, Roger, can you explain your guitar setup? Yes, so let's see if I can So right now, obviously the guitar is just plugged into the DL4, the line 6 delay pedal, which is then going into a delay, like this Moog delay here. It's like an analog delay, I really like it. And this is kind of my main pedal board that I used for live. So like tuner, phase, chorus. That's the chorus, here's the phase. Yeah, anyway, a little compression. Then that's going into the Vox AC4. And then that's actually going into... it's going into like an ISO cab that you won't be able to see on camera, but it's basically like a box with like a speaker in it, with a guitar speaker in it, and then like a microphone stand, so you can set up a bunch of different microphones in there and then just run them out. It's good for, because this is an apartment, so it's good for basically keeping the noise down, so I can really crank it and really run the amps pretty hot and not have to worry about annoying my neighbors basically. So. Thanks, Evelyn. I appreciate that. It's, the remixing was something I basically kind of fell into. It wasn't like the most obvious career path or anything like that, but I felt like pretty capable of doing it. And then the more I did it, the more I got used to it. And it's sort of like a game now. Like how much can I change a song while still maintaining some essence of the original and keeping it interesting, So I'm glad you appreciate it. Roth, yeah. So I haven't played Animal Crossing yet. I'm I have my Switch like all set up, ready to go, but I just haven't done it. Yeah, Noon. So the white light mix. Wow, that's old school. I did that a really long time ago. It's basically just like a bunch of songs that I really like, and the mood is obviously pretty different than your typical mixtape. Yeah, no, I mean, I think I did White Light 64 or something like that, and then I mean they have hundreds of them, I'm pretty sure. I haven't really kept up with the project actually. Is this a new song I'm working on? No, I'm literally just messing around. I have no idea what this is. Yeah, so, I mean, maybe, I don't know, maybe I'll turn this into something now that it's actually recorded on like a live stream. Because usually when I'm messing around with this pedal, it's really just me messing around. So, like, actually, I just do this all the time. I just sit here and, like, noodle around on the guitar. Hey, Richard. Oh, wow, thank you. Thank you, I appreciate that. It's always nice to hear when like my music has like an impact on a kind of a personal level, and like it impacts people. I feel somewhat detached from it in that way. Like obviously I appreciate that so much, but it's like I do this stuff in like a vacuum. I'm just kind of sitting here in my studio making it, and then it like goes out into the world and has an impact, and that's like pretty cool and like pretty powerful. But then again, like I kind of like don't know what I'm doing. Like me trying to have an impact it's not something I'm actually trying to do. It just happens, I guess. And I really appreciate that. So I guess I don't know, I'm just gonna keep doing what I do. In June in New York, playing Webster, assuming everything goes, nobody really knows what's happening with the virus, so if worse comes to worse, we'll push the dates back a little bit or something like that. But as far as of right now, the tour is like still on, so I think we're good. Yeah, will you be making more episodes of How I Made It? Maybe for all the stuff like Blue Jeans. Yeah, so I do this a lot, like where I like get really motivated to do like these videos, these in-depth like technical videos, and you know, I'm kind of like doing them for myself in a way, and like maybe for like a small group of people. I think, you know, I try different things to see if like it connects with like a larger audience, and that one, like, well, I definitely enjoyed doing it, you know, kind of nerding out about specific things. Like it didn't, I don't think it reached very many people. So like I kind of, at some point in time, I have to sort of weigh my time versus like what is connecting. So like, I'm sure that I'll do more of that, but it's like, because it's not, you know, a massively popular series, you know, I kind of have to take it, you know, here and there. Although, I guess, whatever, you know, I'm going to plug the Patreon because, you know, because I'm just going to do that. Yeah, I just started a Patreon. So, and I'm thinking about doing like a production-oriented live stream on that, you know, more in depth and like go into like recording. Because, like, I think my audience is sort of segmented into various, a lot of it is sort of casual listeners, like, which is great. And then there's sort of like the music production people that, you know, it's a lot smaller, but they're, you know, they're pretty active. So like, I definitely want to cater to that. And I figured, you know, with the loss of touring income and whatever, maybe I can make it up with some Patreon stuff, and you know, just kind of connect a little bit, you know, a little bit more in general. I think that's good. I've always been a little bit, not standoffish, but I kind of do my thing and then come back from time to time. Oh yeah. So the White Light project did end. I guess I did know that. Yeah, it's unfortunate, but you know, yeah, I guess from what you're saying, like 126 episodes, so that's pretty awesome. Cool. So, got a gaming PC. So, what are your genre choice? Yeah, I have a gaming PC over in that corner. It's actually what's since I have my graphics cards in there, they can do the encoding for this like really easily. So it's like it's pretty easy on my CPU and all that. You know, quite honestly, I don't play a whole lot of stuff like at this very moment, just because I've been, you know, working on a lot of stuff for the record. But I I did play a lot of Apex Legends, like, you know, 4 or 5 months ago, like a lot, like 200 plus hours. And, you know, I played basically like through the first season and then kind of like got busy, but we did pretty well. I had this friend that's like Alana, he's probably not in here, but he is a ex-CS pro dude from CS 1.6, so he knows his way around it. And you know, he would kind of carry us, so so I'd have a good time playing with him. How am I doing today? I'm doing good. I'm just chilling. Yeah, it's kind of interesting times, you know, but my day to day is like kind of the same. Just kind of working, doing the same stuff I do every day. I feel somewhat prepared for it because I sort of live this quarantine lifestyle in general. Yeah, so am I planning a new album? I said this on the other stream, but like, I apparently have not been spamming this enough. Like, I feel like I need to promote this a little bit better than, because I always feel like I'm like overdoing it. But yes, there's a new record. It comes out on May 8th. Check out the new single. It just came out. Oh yeah, and thanks. I'm glad you like Master Spy. That was a really fun soundtrack that I did a couple years ago with. It's a company that my friend Chris, that I worked with him in college, and then, you know, he eventually went on to be like a game dev, and they needed a composer. So I was like, I've always wanted to do a video game, so like, why not, you know? Milo. That's crazy. 7 years ago. Yeah, I mean, I did that remix like forever ago. Thank you, man. I appreciate that. You know, yeah. No, I've. It's interesting, like how different people have latched on to like my work at different points in their lives, and you know, some people really know me from the remix stuff. Some people only know me from the original stuff. Some people only know me from the gaming stuff, which is kind of funny because it's such a small thing. But yeah, no, I appreciate you. Thank you for being here. Oh, Dimitri, yeah. So I played a lot of COD, so like I'm sure that I would be into that. Although like battle royales, it's like I enjoy them, but they're kind of intense. Like I sometimes I don't want that level of intensity. I just want like a good solid, you know, a good solid like deathmatch basically. Oh, how is the camera like? How's the focus on the camera? Because it's set to continuous, so it might move from time to time. Let me know. I can set it to manual. Yeah, the backlighting is pretty harsh, but that's fine. It's fine. I'd rather be a silhouette so you guys can't actually see me. Yeah, so, okay, advice for Ableton beginners. Actually, oh, sorry, I missed Chris's message. Thank you. I'm glad you like the Two Door Cinema Club remix. You know, that was a funny one. Like, you know, every once in a while there's just like a remix that clicks really well, and it almost feels like effortless. Like it's just spewing out of you basically. And sorry, that sounds kind of gross, but it's yeah, it just felt very natural, and like the more I like just worked on it, it just kind of flowed pretty well. You know, sometimes like I kind of hit my head against a wall with remixes. Like I have a hard time with them, or I get stuck on a specific thing. And that one, I remember, I think I did in like maybe a day or something like that. So that was pretty quick for me. Usually it takes me 2 or 3. And you know, there's a lot of like sort of intricate guitar parts, so it's like kind of surprising to me that I did it so quickly. But again, it's just when things click, it just works, and it in a funny way, that one has sort of like, especially early on in like maybe 2011, 2012, definitely like helped out my career quite a bit. So yeah, same thing with like the Bob Moses one, like the Grammy one, like that. That was done in like a day. Like I forget what the riff is. Never mind. Something like that. Again, because I don't remember any of these parts, because I just like record them and then forget them. Okay, Roger, advice for Ableton beginners. You know, there's like so many good tutorials out there. Like there's actually one channel, I think it's called On Cloud Sign or something like that. They do, the guy did something really interesting where he goes through every single Ableton function and device, and like, I think it's called RTFM, which is like an old Linux reference, but yeah, it basically goes through every single option, explains what it does and like what its purpose is, and I think that would be actually like a pretty cool way to start, you know, just kind of learning, because I mean, I know it's like boring, but like, you know, but once you know how, like, what every single thing does, like, I think it's like you're already way ahead of everybody else. Thank you. I'm glad you liked the Edward Sharp remix. That was, yeah, so that one was kind of interesting. So I grew up listening to I'm a Robot. I don't know if you guys are familiar with that band. It's actually Alex Ebert's old band. And I grew up with that band. I think they're great. I think they're awesome. And so, you know, that's the context of like where I got this email from Edward Sharp's manager. It's like, hey, we have this new band called Edward Sharp. We have the song Home. Do you want to remix it? It's like, okay, cool. It's a really interesting song. I ended up talking to Alex. Like, he called me, and we're just talking creative stuff, and he was telling me that they recorded it without a click. It was all on tape. It was all like feeling it in the room, and it's like, that's amazing. That's so cool. Kind of difficult for remixing, but you know, I'm up for the challenge. And then that song just blew up like crazy. Like just kind of got lucky. They hit me up early before the song. I think the song was out, but it hadn't really connected yet. And yeah, I don't know. It was a cool one. That song came out so long ago that I remember it was the MySpace song of the day, and that was a big deal. Dimitri, yeah, Washed Out's like another one. Yusef, that's cool, man. I'm glad you're showing your grandparents. I wonder what they thought of what I was doing. Yeah, no, I mean, you know, live performance with electronic music is tricky, and a lot of people don't get it. You know, it's sort of new territory in a way. You sort of have to define it for yourself. Oh yeah, King, like the collaboration with MNDR. Yeah, I mean, she's probably like one of my favorite writers to work with. She's super talented. Her and her husband Peter, they're like a duo. Yeah, they're great. I really, I think they're awesome. They're some of my favorite people. Oh, so hidden little color. This is an EBO. So basically, what this does, I don't know if you can see that. No, that's probably. I'm not going to be able to focus on that. Just Google EBO, whatever. Basically, it vibrates the strings on it continuously. So here, let me. So this is, you know, just on the D string. And the closer you put it to the pickup, the louder you get some pretty gnarly, like. Also, it has a different mode where you can focus more on the higher harmonics. So like, So you kind of lose some attack, but I don't know. It's like a really fun thing, especially for layering. Yeah, so highly recommend the Ebo. It's fun. It's like $80. I've had this one forever. Oh, wow, okay. Okay, who is your brother? Okay, so I was in this band in college called The Silent Film. Not to be mistaken with A Silent Film, which is a much more successful band that started around the same time. So what does that say? Yeah, so I'm not sure who you're talking about, but yeah, like, so I had this project called Peanut Butter Disco, like forever ago. It's really silly stuff, but I had a lot of fun with it. Thanks, Twerdy. Yeah, you know, to be honest, like, it's not like I ever imagined the Grammy thing either. It's like, it's wild. I mean, it just kind of happened. I don't know. That's the only way I can describe it. Like, I put, you know, a good 10 years into remixing, and then, you know, to get nominated for that category specifically was, you know, was pretty cool. And then to win the second time was like, that was pretty rad. So, very happy with that. David, yes, I'll add you to my top 8 on MySpace. Timothy, do I ever picture a music video while writing a song? Actually, no. With music videos, I actually prefer to work with like other like directors, and I kind of would rather them be inspired by the song and create like a visual, you know, story behind it. Or sometimes if it's like maybe like a specific aesthetic that they like, maybe I'll chime in a little bit, but I'm pretty hands-off with music videos. I like to just enable a young director to do something cool, you know. That's kind of how I think about it. How are my cats doing? They're good. Where are they? I don't know. They're not in here right now. It's almost 6, but like they usually like peace out until dinner time, which is in a couple hours. Bernie, so which of your collaborations is the one that you like the most? That's a loaded question there. I don't know, like I think, like aside from putting aside the people, like, you know, I don't want to, like, I don't think I can comment on that, but like maybe some of my favorite songs, like I still go back to like We Belong off the first album. That's like one of my favorite songs, and yeah, it was just kind of effortless, and Katie did such a like amazing job on it, and yeah. Yeah, so Nick Birmingham, yes, for sure. That's awesome. And yeah, my wife, she plays, she's a classical pianist, so yeah. Jose, YRAC, Remix Artist Collective is the original idea. That's a long, boring story. You can Google it. It's not that interesting. Twerdy, yes, I've been married for almost, it'll be 12 years in July, yeah. Oh, Loop Replay. Okay, yeah, the Honey Thieves remix. Wow, yeah, that was, oh, that's old school. Oh, sweet, Kenya, that's amazing. That's so cool. I've never been. Or Sydney. That's really cool. That's, yeah, the Honey Thieves. Wow, that was like a really long time ago. Is that even out? Okay, so would I ever do feedback on songs? Actually, funny you mentioned that. And I'm going to plug the Patreon once again. I think we're doing, yeah, there's like a tier in there where I'm doing like personal song feedback if you're interested in that. You know, if you ever want to get some mixed notes, fun stuff like that. Cool. Well, I'm gonna play a little bit of music and maybe get some more questions in, and then maybe play some other type of music. So. You know what? I didn't even post this in my I didn't even post this video in my Discord. I should probably do that. I lost my place. I'm completely unprepared. So I can't get to the chat again. Killing it. Oh, there we go. I'll do that. God damn it. Evelyn, how did I meet my wife? So we met in college, basically. Yeah, we went to the same pretty small school in like Illinois. Yeah, we met there. First date, we had pizza at the like one place in town. So that was kind of the only option, but it was fun, obviously. Yes. So have I worked with Liz? Yes. Yeah. So she makes music under the moniker Pink Feathers. So we have a song on Strangers called 17, and a song on the second record too, on Ego. And yeah, she's doing vocals on those. She has played on a bunch of stuff. She actually sang on. So she sang on Sleeping Lessons, the Shins remix. She's in there. She also sang on a bunch of the Two Door Cinema Club stuff. I think some Tokyo Police Club stuff as well. I'm trying to think. It was always like, background vocals because it's a remix. I wasn't gonna replace it. So yeah, I have 2 E strings on this guitar. The thing is, I can't remember if I did this on purpose or if it was a mistake, but I kind of just left it and I'm having fun with it. So we got somebody from Madrid, got somebody from Kenya / Sydney. Where else is everybody from? I heard Spain just went into lockdown. How's that? Oh, I heard a story about, long story short, I grew up in Portugal and I went to high school. In a place called Santa Maria da Feira, and apparently, this is what I heard, is that this school, again, like I haven't been there in like a really long time, but the school decided to take a field trip to Italy while all of the virus stuff was happening, and like a whole bunch of people got infected, and they brought it back to Portugal. So now the entire town where I'm from is actually on lockdown because of this stupid school that, decided to take the field trip. So, yeah, idiots. Yusef, I was just looking back in your previous message. Yeah, like no, that's that's awesome. I mean, like, you know, I get it. Like when you tell people that you want to be a musician, like I think it's okay for people to be skeptical. You know, I think part of the appeal is to overcome that, you know, and show people what you can do. You sort of have to believe in yourself in that regard. You know, I think I was fortunate that most people, close to me at least, were supportive, but you know, there was definitely like a fairly large group of people that were like, yeah, I'm not sure about that. And then of course, you know, after I won a Grammy, they all you know, had something to say. They're all my best friends after that, which is very funny to me. You know, where were they, you know, 15 years prior? But whatever, I don't care. So Shane, do I use Logic? No, I don't. Well, I have it because sometimes I need to print stems. And it's actually, like, Logic is actually pretty great for comping vocals. That's one thing it has over Ableton. Like, I'm not knocking Logic. I think it's an amazing program. I know a lot of very, very talented people that use it and love it and do great work with it. But I think at this point, I'm so ingrained in the Ableton world. I'm just so quick with it. I can do everything I want, and it's already set up. So that's my go-to, you know. Although when Ableton finally implements like that sort of comping, that vocal comping stuff, yeah, they're in for some competition. That's the one thing that Ableton just really is very bad at. It's recording multiple takes. But you know, Ableton also didn't have like group tracks until the latest version, so like that's also insane to me. But you know, here we are. All right, we got New Jersey, we got Monterey, Delaware. Interesting. Okay, I've been to Delaware, yeah. I just played in Monterey too. Obviously been in New Jersey, but New Jersey and Oregon are the only two states where you can't pump your own gas. It's kind of weird. It's actually kind of nice, like when it's like cold out, but I don't know. I kind of rather. Sometimes when I'm in a hurry, I kind of rather pump my own gas. Oh, Andrew, okay, so do you mix and master your own stuff? How do I learn? That's just trial and error, man. Like, there's a lot of tutorials and a lot of stuff like that you can learn, but it's mostly, yeah, I just like, I've been doing this since I was like 13 years old, so like, I don't. At some point in time there, I learned how to do it, and it's not like some switch just turned on. It's just like a you know, years and years of doing it, and I think that's the only way to really learn. It's you get an ear for it, and especially once you're hearing other people's music, you start to understand how everything's made, and yeah, it's fun. But so actually, like on this latest album, I did mix everything. So I've always mixed the remixes, like that's always been just me. And I usually get somebody else to master it, just because it's a final stage. They have better equipment and better, you know, better setups for that. And it's really not that expensive, so I'd rather get it mastered professionally. But the mixing on the new album, I did it all myself. Just there was so much like fine detail and things like that I really wanted to, yeah, I really wanted to maintain that. Colombia, nice. I've been to Bogota one time. This place called Armando Records. That was fun. It was like a rooftop place. It was great. So the question from Andrew: how do you collaborate with your vocalists for your own tracks? do I write melodies or lyrics, or do I leave it up to them? So usually the way it works, again, everything's kind of malleable, but usually I'll write like a basic demo. You know what? I was gonna play some music anyway, so here, let me. Actually, I don't know if I can do that. I'll do it in a little bit. Basically, I'll play some demos, but I basically have these like, I'll write these like 2 to 3 minute instrumental demos, just with the basic idea, the basic chords, and some of the melody ideas that I have, and then I send it off to a bunch of different vocalists, and people pick one and then work on it and then send it back to me. So that's usually how it works. I mean, since I'm doing so much heavy lifting on the music side of it, like I try to be somewhat hands off with the lyrics and melodies, because I want to give people like creative freedom to do their thing, But if I have like a really specific idea, I'll definitely mention that, What's up, São Paulo too? That's awesome. That's cool. I've been to São Paulo before. It's great. Traffic is horrible. It's a great city. DC also great. Hopefully we'll be playing 930 Club, which is one of my favorite venues. Oh, what's up, Steve? Thank you again for last time. I appreciate that, man. What's up, Oscar? No problem, Shane. Okay, for Alex, when you started music, how did you get your name out there? Oh man, that was when I really just started music. I mean, I was doing, I just had my own website. I was like basically like giving out MP3s of everything. This was like pre-RAC, but yeah, like I was on like IRC chat rooms, like sharing my music. Which, I mean, I've told this story before, but I used to frequent some of the same channels as like Deadmau5, and I remember him like tearing my demos apart and like really criticizing them, and rightfully so, because they were pretty bad. Okay, but as far as like, I have a really hard time with this question, like giving out advice of like what to do when you're a new artist, because it changes so frequently. I mean, I think this day and age, like, obviously like Instagram, like any kind of like social media like that. I mean, even dare I say TikTok, like if you can find a creative way to do that you find fulfilling, then do it. I think TikTok is like pretty gimmicky, so like there's a fine line. I think there's a way to do it right, but like, to create real fans, but instead of just like jokes, but like, I don't know. But I think it's maybe the advice I can give is like just work on your craft, like work on the music, and if that is true to yourself, and if it's like something you truly believe in, like I do like on some level you will find an audience. It may not be a massive audience, I don't know, but like I think that you can find that, and I think that happens through word of mouth more than anything else. I could talk about like Instagram posting strategies and whatever, but like at the end of the day, it's like if your music isn't good, then nobody's gonna nobody's gonna want to share it, but yeah, anyway, that's my non-answer to that question. Martin, well, welcome. I don't know how you ended up in here if you don't know. Don't know me. Gluon, so how did I end up working on the Master Spy game? I went to school with this guy, Chris Truitt. We worked in the IT department in my college, where we fixed computers for students and professors. After that, like, sort of ended, after we graduated and whatever, he started to get into game development, and he needed a composer. So I offered my services, and I grew up playing video games, so I've always wanted to do a video game. So I was kind of like, it's like, yes, let's do that. And you know, because it was a pretty small game, and like, you know, a platform was pretty simple. It wasn't anything like terribly complex. It was good. It was a good thing for me to kind of dip my toes into that, and you know, think about how to write for a video game. Actually, I remember when I was working on it, I intentionally made it like as intense as possible, just like really driving, like always like fast tempos, because otherwise the idea is that it gets your, you know, like blood flowing basically. And yeah, I don't know, I really had a lot of fun with it. Thank you, Laser, appreciate it. Oh, okay, so Steve, yes, Patreon. So I haven't really, like, I kind of loosely, I sent out like a mailing list kind of thing about it, and we're announcing more like formally on Wednesday. But basically I started a Patreon, and the reasoning is pretty simple. Basically, all of live music has basically stopped, and if you guys are unaware, essentially live music is, I want to say, I'm talking like industry wide, is about like 70 to 80% of like all income from music income comes from live performances. So like if you can't perform, then you can't make money. So I had already like for the past couple of years, I've already been sort of diversifying into other things. That's why I did like, you know, films and like things like that, and you know, remixing also helps. And I'm definitely not like being hit the worst with this. There's some people that like all their income comes from live performances. So I don't mean to paint like a dire picture, I guess. Just want to be upfront about that. But this is something I've kind of been exploring for a long time, where I really wanted to do more of a like kind of a membership program, something like somewhere where I can put like all the B-sides, and it's really more for like catering to what super fans, if you want to call it that, you know, people that are really into your music, and you know, because not everybody really cares about all that stuff. So I wanted to do something for that, and you know, for a fair fee, which obviously supports me, especially in these times. And it's like, but it's also just a way to kind of connect a little more deeply with the community, and it's like it's not so mainstream. I'm not trying to like reach this mass audience with it. It's like really kind of focusing in on a smaller group of people. But you know, we're gonna do like all kinds of cool stuff. Like we're gonna do like a quarterly vinyl with like a B-side that'll only be out like through that. So we're really kind of taking it seriously and going all out with it. I'm really stoked about doing like the custom vinyl stuff, because it'll be sort of like, you know, signed and like hand numbered, and like well, don't quote me on that. I'm pretty sure we're gonna be able to do that. But like it basically is small batch type of stuff, like 7 inches, and do some interesting stuff with the artwork. And yeah, I don't know, man. I'm just like having fun with it. I'm like excited to explore that. Like it's, you know, so much there's always like a fine line in between what you can do in terms of you know, trying to reach this massive audience, and you have to sort of water down your messaging and your music to some degree. And I really like the idea of sort of catering to maybe a smaller group of people that really love what you do, no matter what it is, and that sort of buys you more creative freedom in a way. And I think that's across the board. I don't mean that just musically, but like with merch, with you know, we're doing like I want to do like the Fuji Instax, like Polaroid type of stuff, like I don't know, my cats, or like studio gear or whatever. So it's like kind of a unique item, and you know, for people that like care about that stuff. So yeah. What else are we doing on Patreon? Oh, so I'm also doing like I mean, this is sort of extreme, but like where I will like produce a song for you. I'm limiting it to 1 a month, so I can like focus on my work too. But yeah, I kind of want to open that. So we have some like kind of crazy tiers, but most of the stuff is like, it's mostly like for B-sides. It's just a couple bucks a month type of thing, and you know, it's just a more kind of direct, like you can message me on there or whatever. We're also doing like submissions for Minerva for my label, and like the idea is like it's a little bit of a paywall, but it's also like it just kind of helps everything, move along. So anyway, okay, I'll stop pitching the Patreon now. Toward yes, you basically, that's basically kind of what I was describing. Timothy, have you ever thought of doing something with Madion? Yeah, of course, man. Like I love his work. I've hung out with him a little bit. Super nice guy. We're both kind of recording nerds, so I love to kind of get into that stuff with him. And I saw that he's live streaming too, which is awesome. Yeah, I mean, it would be fun to remix the Dead Mouse track, of course. It's not my typical style, but it would definitely be fun to do it, Alex, yeah, 9:30 Club. I don't know which time you were, or maybe it was there. Oh, maybe it was the last time I was there. It was more the disco thing. That was fun with like Chromeo. That was a good time. And Robotaki. Oscar. Yeah, so yeah, no, I'm definitely aware of Flume. It's really funny. I have a weird connection to him, which is not really a connection, but back in the I don't know, 2006 or 2007 or something like that. I got hit up about doing or about a remix trade with this kid from Australia called Harley School Kid, and so we did a remix trade, and he actually remixed my band called The Pragmatic. So you can Google it. It's Harley School Kid Circles, I think. Yeah, Circles, The Pragmatic, and anyway, long story short, it turns out that was Flume, but I had no idea. I only found out much later, but it's kind of funny. Fox. Well, that's awesome. That's awesome that you've been listening to it for so long. I mean, you could still be like a young teen. I don't know, but like, no, I appreciate that. It blows my mind, to be honest, because I've been doing this for a long time, and sometimes people tell me they grew up with my music, and it's I don't know. I appreciate that, man. Like, it's cool. I'm just doing my thing, and it's fun when people kind of stick with it. Thank you, Daniel. Daniel, I'm saying thank you to your comment now. Bedroom Beethovens. Yes, I just did a podcast with these dudes. I'm stoked. Thank you, Roger. I appreciate that. Thank you, Alejandro. I really appreciate that, man. Like, it's Ego was like, I mean, it's such a classic like sophomore record where it's a little bit indulgent, like I'm kind of, I don't know, like some of the songs are pretty poppy, but for the most part it's a little bit meandering, and like, I don't know, I was just like doing a lot of weird stuff with it, and really having fun with it, like basically making the whole album continuous. Actually, I can sort of give some context about like why I did that. So, long story short, I was signed to Interscope on my first record, and they're sort of notorious for like messing with people's records, and I kind of knew that going into it, but I basically signed with them with a finished album, so I figured, okay, it's finished, they're not going to mess with it, surely it'll be fine. But no, they wanted to add a song, and then when they released it, against my wishes, I should add, they split the record in two. So it came out as Strangers Part 1 and Strangers Part 2, which I basically begged them not to. I have very long emails that I wrote them, basically explaining the whole artistic process, why this is like blasphemous and like makes no sense, and like how it's gonna ruin the whole rollout, and and they did it anyway. So there's a reason I don't work with them anymore. But yeah. And that's why Ego is a continuous album because like they couldn't mess with that. Not that they would, because I'm signed to Counter and / Ninja Tune, and they let me do whatever I want. That was never an issue. But yeah, I think like I was still getting over that. So I made the whole album like one continuous piece of music. It's actually exactly 1 hour. And yeah, just so nobody would mess with it, basically. Jordan, so okay, like the vibrant sound that you're talking about, like the mixing and mastering, you know, I use a lot of, you know, I don't use a terrible amount of like plugins, specific, like I think I've really focused on the sound going into the computer. So right now, you know, it's going through an actual amp, it's going through an ISO cab. I make sure the instrument is good. This is a thin line telly, you know. It's funny, which I don't even use this on my recordings, just for this. Yeah, I keep getting distracted with new comments. Yeah, so it's sort of like I make sure the sound is good, like as high quality going in. So right now it's like going through like a preamp, sometimes a tube preamp. It's like I just make sure that the quality is the best it is when it's going in, and then I mean the one thing that I will say about like warm sounds is like it has more to do with like rolling off the highs than it does like the actual sound of it. So like I filter everything that I do. So if it's a guitar, I'll filter it down sort of the mid range, and I'll cut out all the high end, or just leave a little bit of low end. The idea being that you know, the only information you're getting is like really the essential stuff. Like I don't think, because like, if you have all this high end information, you're competing for you're competing in the same ranges as the vocals, for example. So in fact, like I have like a low pass filter on pretty much all instrumentation above, you know, sometimes like 12 or 15K. So the vocals are just like free to sit up in the 15K range freely. I mean, that's a creative decision. Not everybody needs to do that, and not all music really needs that. But yeah, no, I like that separation. So I think maybe that's part of it. I mean, I do use a lot of Good Hertz plugins, which they like their stuff is really cool. Like the Wolf compressor. What else do they use? The Wow control I really like. What else do I use? Lossy is pretty cool. Laser. So this background music is just some loop I have that I started probably before you joined, and it's still going. Twerdy. So yeah, yeah. The Discord's like a paywall thing, but yeah, and it's only a couple bucks. But you don't have to join. It's fine. It's okay. You can just listen on Spotify. It's fine. It's fine, guys. It's fine. Oh, okay. So, Twerdy, why did you put Oreos on your album cover? So you're talking about Chapter 1. Good question. I don't think I've ever answered this. The story is that, like, okay, so I had done, by the time the album came out, I had already done like 100, well over 100 remixes, and this was meant to be sort of, you know, a best of that, if that makes sense. So I wanted to. It's I don't know if you noticed, but it's a bunch of Oreos with the cream eaten out of them. So the idea being that, like, you know, it's just the best. It's the best out of the bunch. That's the idea. But it was the same guy that did the artwork for Strangers. So it's like kind of all encompassing. Zale, am I gonna leak the emails? No, I've moved on. It's fine. Mark. yeah, man. It's a soundtrack of your 20s. I mean, it's fascinating to me. Actually, I'm gonna look up my Spotify stats because this is always fun to see. Because they give you. I'm not getting like any kind of personal information, but I'm getting this sort of like a broad overview of like, at least in the past 28 days, like who, like 40% female, 50% male, 1% non-binary. Okay, so like 18 to 22 is 18% of my audience. 23 to 27 is 30%. 28 to 34 is 29, which makes sense because it's sort of like my age. Like people, like that was sort of my, that was sort of my era or whatever. Although it's surprising to see some younger people on here. But I don't think I'm really that kind of artist. And then like 2% 16 up. Top countries: United States, Germany, Canada, UK, Australia. Oh, top cities. This is fun. LA, New York, Chicago, San Francisco, Dallas. Dallas is surprising. It's funny because we didn't. We're still working on a date there for the tour. I should send this to him. It's the 5th largest city. So come on, guys, get on it. What's up, Dallas? Seattle, Denver, Atlanta, Houston, Brooklyn, Sydney. I guess if you add Brooklyn and New York, that's definitely number one. What's up, Brandon? you're the prophet that. I think when I saw that message, I already knew that it was going to be in the game, so that was like kind of funny. I was like, haha, little do you know. Greg Gob, yeah, maybe I should add like toilet paper to the Patreon, it's like as a special perk. I didn't hoard it, but I'm stocked. It's all good. Dream collaboration with an artist that is no longer with us, David Bowie. Kind of random story about David Bowie is that, so David Bowie won his first Grammy, after he passed. But he won it for best mastering or something like that, and it was actually the category. It was the award right before mine, so it was kind of cool to be like that close to like such a historic event. Even if it's such a kind of small award, in comparison to what he should be getting, is what I'm saying. Daniel, we're still talking about that comment, man. Like, we're still going. It's funny because like this is sort of like quite lagged behind, so Daniel, interesting that it makes my music, or it makes you think about coding. I could see that, like with I feel like with especially with the more instrumental stuff. I mean, I don't know. I feel like anything with vocals kind of is a little bit, like if I'm writing emails or something like that, I find it to be a little bit much. So I prefer instrumentals for that. What's up, Steve? Thank you again, man. I really appreciate that. Steve has been tipping me every time I get on here. So shout out to Steve. I appreciate it, man. Hill, thoughts on working with a label versus going independent in the current streaming age. I think it depends on where you are in your career. Like for me, it makes so much sense to work with a label, because to me, what that means is like, okay, so this is like pretty common knowledge. It's not like some big secret, but like indie labels traditionally are 50-50 deals, and as opposed to like when you're on a major, you're getting maybe 10 to 13%, So like with the major, you're basically taking a larger sum of money up front, and basically you're never going to get anything else from that. They're essentially buying you out. I mean, the deals are set up in a way that they're going to screw you over, basically. And it's okay if you know that. Like if you know that that's the deal you're getting into, props. Like, that's actually kind of how I approached it. Like, with strangers, I knew that I was essentially like selling it, basically. And that maybe I would see something from it, like in maybe like 15 to 20 years, which is weird. But you know, but with when you sign to an indie, there's definitely an expectation to make a profit off of it, you know. So, you know, the label takes the risk. They put up money, you know, X amount, whatever, depending on how big you are. And so it's, you know, they inject money into it, which is nice. And the one thing that I really like about it is you get a whole team of people, you get a whole building working for you. And yeah, you can maybe get that when you're independent, but like, are you really gonna work harder than all those people, you know? So it's, and they all have expertise, they have all these connections, like sort of, there's a lot of benefits to working with a label that are definitely worth the 50% that you're giving up, you know, because you're not taking a financial risk. It's in a way it's a loan, but you don't have to pay it back, you know. If they take the risk, like if the album flops, then they lose money, you know. You don't lose money. I mean, you don't make any money, but you don't lose it. So that's kind of cool. I think like maybe if you're a smaller artist, if you're just starting out, I think it makes a lot of sense to be independent, because a whole room of people working on your project, and if you don't have like any traction, that's not good either. But then again, if they really believe in you, maybe they can help something happen. So I don't know, there's multiple sides to it. Like, I feel like you can, I don't know. I think you can, it really depends on where you are. I mean, it's a difficult question, I guess. It's really circumstantial. Is that a word? I think so. Okay, cool. So I'm going to answer a couple more questions, and then I'll. I think what I want to do is. I'm actually just gonna like play some stuff off Spotify. Just play some music I've been into. Okay, questions. Thoughts on Orville Peck? I'm actually. maybe I've heard it. I don't know. I don't want to comment on it if I haven't heard it recently. Would I ever do one song a month thing again? Yeah, maybe. That was an interesting experiment. I enjoyed it. I think in the end, I think people got a little bit fatigued from it. It was just like constantly like brand new song. You know, it was just a lot to ask for people to kind of continually chime in. That's why I like albums, because it's like here's 3 years of my life. Take it. You know, enjoy. Is that kind of? Oh, it's my homemade cables. That's what's up. Oh, a fun story about this stupid tuner. Playing playing the Mojave tent at Coachella, and this like screw came off, so my tuner wouldn't work. So not only would it not turn on, but the times that I did get it to work, I couldn't turn it off. So it was like just scrambling. It was kind of a nightmare. So tighten your screws, I guess, before playing. Daniel, yeah, no, I get what you're saying about like voices, and sort of they have shapes and forms. Like, I get what you're saying. That's definitely like I think of music in those sort of terms. I'm not so much a lyrical person, you know. Jordan, yes, you got that. That's basically it. Yeah. Greg, have you ever thought of remixing an ancient piece of music? Define ancient. Yeah, I mean, I think that'd be fun. Bo is like right outside of view. I was hoping he'd come in, but yeah, I don't think he's gonna make an appearance. I guess like, you know, it's not ancient, but I did cover you know, Claire de Lune. It's a bit older, you know. Oh, Steve. You know, I got so carried away with thanking you for the tip that I forgot to answer your question. Sorry, my bad. Okay, how did I meet Matthew Coma? Okay, so this ties into what I was saying earlier. It's actually funny how we met, because how I was talking about, like I was on Interscope and they wanted to add this song that I didn't want to add. It's not that I didn't like the song, but I didn't want to add it to that album. To me, that album was finished, and it didn't make any sense to add songs to it. And that song is Cheap Sunglasses, which is hilarious in hindsight, because it became one of my biggest songs off that album. But I still stand by that decision that it wasn't meant to be on that. And you know, I wanted to put out later, you know, on a second record or something like that. So, but because of that, that's how we met. It was like through writing for, like I had a bunch of leftover demos, and then it got sent to him, and then he sent through a chorus, and then we started chatting over email and whatever. And you know, we were on the same label, so we're both kind of there. And yeah, so we just you know, yeah, at the time we just like met kind of like through the internet, and I think met because we played a couple shows together or something like that. But it's actually funny because we really only connected a little bit deeper later on, you know, a couple years later, after we were both on like different labels and sort of able to sort of process all the stuff that happened, basically. So, wait, I'm trying to figure out what's the question. Yusuf, yeah, I'm not, I think I understand what you're saying, but I'm not entirely sure. Laser, who's my biggest inspiration for music? I'm gonna throw out. I mean, it's so many people, but like I'll throw out Deftones. Anyway, and who else? I mean, Paul Simon, obviously. Trying to think of like, well, I mean, I guess like Thrive Blind, because I did cover that song because I grew up listening to them, and I really love that band. Yeah, so any other early 90s, early 2000s hits I would like to cover. I've done a couple of them. I did like Cranberries. Yeah, I think that qualifies. I did, what's that other one? Well, I did 1979 Smashing Pumpkins. I'm totally blanking on that. It's, anyway, I'm spacing out. I'm spacing out on the title, but I've done a couple covers from that era. Steve, yeah, no, it's like really ironic how like that song ended up being such a like a big part of my career, even though it was never really meant to be on that album and like any of that stuff. You know, all in hindsight, of course. And no, I love Blink-182, of course. Oh, okay. So I'm gonna play some music, and let me know how the volume is, if it's like comparable. This is an artist called Reaper. The song is called As You Sow. This beat is so good. And shout out to Nick Lang, which he showed me this when we were working in the studio the other day. Also, let me know about the volume, if that's cool. I mean, I got these headphones. I think I should give me a reference. Timothy, we're listening to, I'm just like playing some random songs I'm into. Not really DJing because I'm just on Spotify, but some like interesting artists I found recently. Actually, I'm just gonna skip around. I'm not gonna play the whole thing, but like, this song is so good. I keep on with my crew. All the noise I do not listen to. Life's so short. I'm living, I'm learning, creating a legacy. This is also a Reaper, a song called Funeral. looks like a...
I don't give a fuck about your bitch, girl. Baby, she complain you hit that shit right. I be in this for nothing but hit songs. Take a couple notes, she like her shit right. Your girl keep texting, tell her take a break.
Oh yeah, Tom Misch is amazing.
I can fuck with you, boy, you have
Here, I'll play that CCFX song.
You stay mad over mine. You get married in a matter of time. Take my gun in the bus.
So this is CCFX, The One to Wait. It's just like vibey, 90s-ish, I don't know. Should probably skip ahead. Actually, I'm gonna plug my label a little bit. This is Maddie J. She's amazing. She's actually on the record on the new album as well.
How the hell did I get here? I used to be so independent. You promised that you're good for me. It's starting to feel deceptive. I'm tuna fish, you're really in. You lay it on thick, but you're spreading me thin. You double back and change your mind again.
Thanks, Steve. Appreciate that, man.
Just when I think you're honest, you're being open.
But yeah, so this is Maddie J. Peanut Butter Song.
Into peanut butter. You pretend that you're healthy, you're undercover. You
Actually, a lot of this stuff is on this playlist called The Shuffle on my Spotify account. If you want to find it there.
it's like when I'm lonely.
I guess I could post a link now, couldn't I?
Fill me up, restore my mind. Sitting on my folding chair, sitting on your lies. Tell me
And I'm
that
gonna plug
I'll self-destruct.
another artist that we have on Minerva, Metza. Super nice guy. Really talented.
They don't make them like this no more. Nothing like a good old-fashioned heartbreak. Now thanks to your touch, I'm not comfortable in my own bed. Everything's so cold. Don't wanna be so alone anymore. And I'm not saying I need your company just to stay warm, but wouldn't I kill the habit? So just say what you want and go. So just say what you want and go. Yeah, no, no.
right, so the question is, do you have any guilty pleasures? Oh, yes. Oh, yes, I do. Juicy. It's so good.
I keep it juicy, juicy. I eat that lunch.
It's funny because it's not actually a guilty pleasure because I listen to this like no shame at all. This is a great song.
If you could see it from the front, wait till you see it from the back. Back, juicy. Back, yeah. Back, juicy. Back, juicy. If you could see it from the front, wait till you see it from the back, yeah. He like it thick, he like it fat, yeah. Like to keep on wanting more. He asked me, Doja, where you at, huh?
All right, let me find some other cool stuff.
How long it take to put my pants up? Broke a fingernail and then some. Tryna squeeze into my true religion, that numb. Sell it, be don't wanna sell you light. I don't buy it with a cellulite. He said the body unbelievable.
I mean, the new Caribou is like pretty great. It's like, it's weirdly how should I put this? Like, he's sort of simplified his style, and it's become a little more concise, but it's like better because of it, I think. I mean, I've always loved all of his work, but I feel like he used to be kind of like really scatterbrained, and now it's just more focused and specific. And just the repetitive vocal is like so good. I feel like he's like taking stuff from like dance music and like applying it to his own work, I guess. Yeah, it's pretty cool stuff. Also, Christine and the Queens. This song is, when that chorus hits. I think it's coming up here. Bassline. No, it's so good. And just some French thrown in there. Oh, this band called Now Now. I really like this song. SGL is the name of the song. Timothy, all this stuff is at the bottom of that playlist if you want to look up on Spotify. Unless you're using Apple, but I don't know. Kind of reminds me of that band Always or Always, whatever. I love this band too. Maybe this is the one. This is it. I don't know. It's like kind of, it reminds me of this. But I really like this band. This is Always, all V's, 2 V's. The album is Anti-Socialites. It's great. Maybe I'll throw in a little Carly Rae. This song is so good. It's ridiculous.
He's strong, not one to settle down. You know he's that guy. Electric, those lips can wear me out. Wild thing, he's all mine. It's crazy, but when
Oh, Timothy. My bad. I didn't realize. Couldn't get Spotify. Yeah, Shazam's probably your friend there.
like pressure points, my love can't ease him in my hand. 'Cause he needs me, 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 he needs me.
Warning, we've detected copyright audio in your stream. You may be temporarily blocked. Thanks, guys.
Soft rain, we roll the windows down.
Gonna get demonetized, guys.
Go all night.
Okay, I'm gonna skip around a little bit. Oh, another artist on my label, Minerva, Nasiah. He's amazing. Such a talented producer. Actually, I'm just gonna play the bridge because this is so good. I'm just gonna let it build. Yeah. Yeah, this build is just amazing. Yeah, so this is Nasiah. The song's called Soleil, also on Minerva. I'm just plugging my label. It's a label that I have with Josh from Goldroom and another third partner, Rob. And yeah, I've been doing it for maybe a year now. I don't know. It hasn't been a year. Pretty new. I'm really into Benny Sings too.
I hear them say there's a lot of things
I like this
you
song
can.
now.
It's not enough, not like that.
So this is Benny Sings, Not Enough.
Call me out and then make amends. It's not enough, understand. You can't take my dreams and just bring them back. Baby, you're my alibi. Hold back and leave me tonight. Baby, you're my alibi. Hold back, leave me dry. It's not enough, not like that. You can't call me out and then make amends. It's not enough, understand. You can't take my dreams and just bring them back. Oh, baby, I'll forget about it. I like you more than
He's so good. I mean, it's just like the piano and the tight drums. Like, it's just groovy, you know? I'm into it.
baby, need more.
Oh, I'm really into this artist, Deb Neverett, as well. It's pretty slow stuff, but like, to me it reminds me of like kind of like 90s. This isn't gonna sound right, but like 90s alt rock, but mixed with like hip hop beats, the 808s, and it kind of works. Oh, Alex G. I love this song. Waiting for this to get to the chorus, actually.
Nobody's gonna push me off track. I see what they do. Good people got something to lose. I don't wanna go back. Nobody's gonna push me off track.
Timothy, is there any music that I cannot stand? Not really. I feel like I can find something in almost every genre. I mean, there's just a lot of mediocre music out there, but like I feel like every genre has like some good stuff, you know? Here's a pretty good find of mine. There's this artist named Ashiko Aoba. I'm butchering that. Japanese artist, I assume. Collaboration with Sweet William. The song is called Amaneki. It's so good. The beat comes in. There's this like really cool part. Oh wait. Just good stuff. Alright, I'll play a couple more, I think, and then wrap this thing up. Let's see here. What do we got? Yeah, sure. I'll play like my latest obsession. A song called New House by Torima.
I want a brand new house, something I cannot buy, something I can't afford. I want a brand new house, something I cannot buy, something I can't afford. I want a brand new house, something I cannot buy, something I can't afford. I want a brand new house, something I cannot buy, something I can't afford.
We're almost at 2 hours. Wow, okay, alright.
Been on blast like all day.
Timothy, yeah, I can't really listen to music while I work. But I guess I do, like, because I spend a lot of time reading email and whatever. But not, obviously not when I work on music.
Claims like a war zone now. Gotta pack light, cause I'm on my own.
I want a brand new house, something I cannot buy, something I can't afford. I want a brand new house, something I cannot
Yusuf, yeah, I'll probably do another live stream like that with that setup. I'm planning on trying like a bunch of different stuff. Just I don't want to keep doing the same thing over and over again. So I'll play a little guitar, play some music. I might set up a couple synths here next time and just kind of noodle around, And also probably gonna do this may be more for the Patreon stuff, but I'll probably do like an actual live stream of me working. I don't want to go too wide at that because it's like, I don't know. I kind of like not having to think about it like when I'm working,
Is there a reasoning?
Cool, guys. Well, it's been real. Have a good one. I'm gonna peace out for today. But thanks for tuning in. See ya.